Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with episode number 41 of the Swoosh Shoes podcast.
The
It's your
Dirt
boy
the
Eric.
Whiskey episode.
Yep. So it's your boy Eric, aka We Got to Build It with Jalen Brunson. We got Ernest, aka number 18 banner is safe. We're gonna explain that later. Mr. 305 Armani, Hemi Butler himself. Can't wait for tomorrow. And we got Josh, aka Ben Simmons, trainer, because we stuck with him.
Yeah,
We stuck with him.
Can you explain why your name is Ben Simmons, trainer?
I don't know if y'all saw the reports, but there's a post going around that he hired a new trainer, and I just came out. I'm a new trainer, guys. I'm breaking news. I'm actually in his mansion now in the basement. Can't see. I don't know why he got a piano here. I told him to get rid of that, but yeah, we trying to get Ben Simmons right, trying to get him back to that old NBA. So
are you coping with the fact that you've come to reality and come to grips and terms that you're stuck with Ben Simmons going into next season? Is that
being stuck with Ben Simmons is actually the least of my worries with this Nets team and the future. I'll explain that later.
Worry about management though?
Huh?
Worry about management?
It's not more management, it's more of the what's the word? What's the saying? The motivation to do stuff.
AK running back.
Not running back. It's how you say it?
retooling?
Oh man.
Retooling?
Like we just had a headache with Katie and Kyrie, so
okay.
People are happy with this guy McHale. He smiles.
Oh,
he's good PR.
Wait. I know there's an operative word that that your franchise's front office has used the minute y'all got swept last season in the first round, and that was the operative word was culture. We want our culture back, and it seems as if Mikal Bridges exudes that culture that said Nets front office is looking for.
And there's nothing wrong with McHale. I have no problem.
No.
It's just
great player.
Smart basketball decisions needs to be made. This team should not be a Wizards type team in the middle of the pack. Like we should be ripping everything down and build up.
All right. So before we get into
that Wizards trade was crazy.
That was insane. That was insane. The Kuzma trade.
They love being in the middle, bro.
Damn. But we'll get into a little bit of what our offseason wishes are. Clearly Josh has already lit the fire and said he wants to tear it down. But
been screaming this since last summer.
You were. Yeah, definitely. You've been on that hill, and I assume you'll die on that. But yeah, so episode 41. Obviously, the Western Conference Finals have ended about 10 days ago. So
I had time to grieve. I'm in a better space now.
Listen, man.
Now I had time to grieve.
We've seen a lot more conference finals losses than franchises have seen conference final appearances. So I'm okay with that. As you know, the Denver Nuggets are in the NBA Finals. Around 10 days ago, they swept the Los Angeles Lakers to get into the finals, their first appearance. So, shout out to the Nuggets again for accomplishing
ain't no shout out, ain't no congratulations to these Nuggets, man.
Trying to go out like Isaiah.
And now Josh is stuck in the Matrix.
And they're still beefing about that.
Listen, Mike Malone, give it up, brother.
No,
but you know what's crazy? Mike Malone has been, obviously on the beat talking about, man, like we're not getting all this coverage, but it's just funny. Kyrie's getting more coverage than the Nuggets, and it's just funny that the fans of the Nuggets, constantly say like, we don't get the recognition that we deserve. And the minute that they do, right, they get upset at what the content is. Like, for instance, the other day on all the sports media outlets, it was about, how not soft, but like the easy route, and I wouldn't even say that, but like the narrative was the Nuggets got to the finals. The road to get to the finals was a lot easier than the rest of the other teams. I.e., you play 2 playing teams to get to the finals, right? You play the T-Wolves and you played the Lakers, and in between that, you played a newly together Phoenix Sun team. Now, I get the gripe with that narrative, right? Like, I understand that. But hey, if you want to be talked about, this is what we're used to as Laker Nation. This is what you have to get used to, is being talked about. When you do well, they're going to find an excuse as to why you did well because, the odds were stacked with you, right? Versus, you defying the odds and going against the grain and accomplishing a feat that you've never accomplished before and giving credit when credit is due. So Denver fans, if you want coverage like the Nuggets, you gotta also take the BS that's spewed on social media and these sport networks, because that's what they do, right? The minute the Lakers won the chip in 2020, they call us a super team.
They call it the Lee Mickey.
Right. And to try to discredit the championship. It happens, right? Like, you wanted the coverage, you're gonna get it. Whether you like it or not, it's not always gonna be praised. Now, moving on. We had a epic Eastern Conference series, to say the least. Miami, the AFC, coming out of losing the playing game.
Wait, hold on. Before you go continue, they said it was the most watched Game 7 on TNT in like NBA history.
Yeah,
and I'm like, like that game, like.
But you got to think about it. Like, how many Game 7's been on TNT?
No, true, right?
So like you got to think of it in that sense.
And plus the history behind that Game 7.
Right.
Yeah. Like,
that series.
Right. So you got Miami, the AFC.
Don't let us win one, bro.
Yeah.
Don't let us win.
Came in as a play-in team, facing off against the Atlanta Hawks, lose that game, and then go to play Chicago, who was the 9th seed, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they were the 10th seed.
They were the 10th seed, and almost losing that game. They were down at half, coming back.
They were down 3.
Shout out to Max
3 minutes ago.
Right, they were down most of the game to come back and win that game to get into the playoffs.
Like the game of his life.
Right. And then they faced the number 1 seeded Milwaukee Bucks. And we all know Giannis had an injury during that series, but yet and still, Miami.
They didn't say that. They didn't say that when it was Kyrie in Brooklyn. So I don't want to hear that.
No, listen. Giannis came back in the series. If you're on the floor, you can play. I don't want to hear no excuses, right? So Miami takes care of business there. Moves on to the semifinals. Against the Philadelphia. No, sorry, not Philadelphia. The New York Knicks. How can I mix that up? And seemingly taking care of the New York Knicks pretty handedly in 6 games. And moving on to the conference finals.
They let him and Jalen Brunson down that series.
Listen, we'll get to the Knicks offseason plans. And they get to the conference finals and they play, the favorite at the moment, Boston Celtics, who, came in as a 2nd seed, beat Atlanta, then beat Philly, then, in the conference finals. They go down 0-3 to the 8th seed Miami Heat. And when it felt like the series was pretty wrapped up, Boston makes a storm to come back down from 0-3 to tie it to make it a Game 7. In Boston, after winning on a buzzer beater, put back by Derek White in Game 6 in Miami, they go back home and they just lay a stinker, man. Jason Tatum gets hurt early in the game, twists the ankle.
First possession of the game.
Yep, first possession of the game. They also missed 11 straight shots. So, that was just, demoralizing within itself. And there you have it. Miami Heat prevail. They actually stop history from, having the Celtics be the first team to come back from 0-3 in the NBA. And they make their way and punch their ticket into the NBA Finals to face the number 1 seeded Denver Nuggets. Recap. how, what do you guys take away from the series from Boston and Miami, and obviously Game 7? Jason Tatum didn't have a relatively good game. Try to play through the ankle injury. Grimaced throughout the whole game. Jaylen Brown, missing 8 threes, had 8 turnovers. Didn't play well. Derek White showed up, but
they're cooking Jaylen Brown on Twitter
yeah.
right now.
Yeah,
they
it's
said
bad.
who has a better handle than Jaylen Brown?
Nah,
they showed a video. They showed a video of Rudy Gobert with the behind the back.
Oh, I thought you were about to say the other one. I thought you were about to say the other one.
The Kendrick Perkins one.
No,
Oh.
they showed the kid Hansel.
Oh yeah.
I was like, yo,
come on, man, come on, man.
Like, yo,
Wow.
Yeah. So Jaylen Brown didn't have a good series. Derek White showed up. Malcolm Brogdon did not show up whatsoever. Robert Williams was
that.
6 man a year.
Yeah.
Robert Williams, but again, like I said, no excuses. You were on the floor, but he has been dealing with an elbow injury, so I'm sure that affected him and caught up with him. Robert Williams was also sick. Throwing up at halftime and that stuff.
He was nervous. He was throwing up Game 7. He was like, "Oh my god!"
Hey, what did Jared Allen say? Them bright lights, baby. It's different.
Right. It's right.
So yeah, just giving you guys take on your thoughts on the series and thoughts on Boston. Just not taking care of business. As a 2 seed, there should be no excuse. You should go down 0-3 to a team who I don't want to discredit Miami, but Miami is a very flawed team. They don't have Tyler Hero. It's no excuse. Like it's very different from the conversation between LA and Denver, right? Like I get it, like LeBron and AD, but also like the Lakers were a 7 seed. Miami and Denver was the 1 seed. Denver took care of business at the end of the day. And Denver was the number 1 seed throughout the whole season.
But I mean, in the same vein, you can also say that seeding doesn't matter when it comes to the playoffs. Like it's all about like matchups and stuff like that. But I feel like us as just basketball fans, I feel like we all seen this coming for the Boston Celtics, just how they've been playing throughout the entire season, just some of the inconsistencies and inconsistent play they've been showing the entire season. So to go behind in the 0-3 deficit against the 8th seed, against technically the 7th seed, but they lost the play-in game, had to play another one. You're going down 0-3 against a play-in team, and y'all supposed to win a championship this year. Like, y'all have those T-shirts that says unfinished business for a reason. Like, so that's a bad look. And then I know Josh and I was talking about this, but Jason Tatum's play just, I don't know, man. It's either he's shooting the 3 or he's going to the basket, and he's no in between. And like that's why, like, I've grown to love his game, because he had an in between game. He was a 3-level scorer, but he either trying to ISO, break you down off the dribble, get to the basket, get the dunk, get the layup, or he's trying to shoot threes. And I think that's what the entire Boston Celtics team, that's what they lacked. And it was just a lot of drive and kick. Find the open man, shoot 3. There wasn't like no set plays that was going on. High screen and roll, you double, kick the ball, shoot the 3. And that was their entire game plan. And when you have the team like the Miami Heat, who's able to play a bunch of different zones, 1-3-1, 2 at 2 high, so that way if they set a screen, they could switch 2-3 zone. Like, you really can't do anything with that. You really can't like gameplay with that. But you got to give the Boston Celtics credit because they definitely turned it on. They definitely had us all like, damn, like the Celtics about to win this series. But just that, going back to that inconsistent behavior, the inconsistent play, they wasn't able to follow through. Miami smell blood. I'm just a little concerned about Bam. Yeah, like they call him Kwame Brown with good hands, bro. Like
Bam Simmons.
Yeah, and also Jimmy. I feel like, even though Jimmy won the Eastern Conference Finals trophy, the Larry Bird Award, I feel like each game it was difficult for him, and then like he was also very quiet. Whereas you got somebody like Caleb Martin, who definitely like came to play, came to hoop. Definitely the number one reason why they won that game 7. But just the play of Jimmy and the play of Bam concerns me because your role play is going to get you out the mud, but will they always be there to save you? So that's my take.
Well, for my take, it was a real bizarre series for me because it was like at one hand you felt like the Celtics should have won games 1 and 2 at home, but they allow a big third quarter in game 1 and a big second quarter in game 2, and they just couldn't hit threes from the side of the barn. So game 3, it was basically a no-show. And then you had games 4 and 5 where the Celtics they play up to their capabilities. Then game 6, you had basically the Celtics they dominated through the first 3.5 quarters, had an 11-point lead with like 10-point lead with 4 minutes to go, and blew it and were down by 1. And then Derek White makes the putback to win the game with 0.2 seconds left. Basically, the same thing happened to the game. Same thing happened last year, game 7 in Miami. If you remember, Celtics were up by 10 with 3 minutes left in the game, and then the Heat made the late push, and then Jimmy Butler misses the possible game winning 3, and then game 7, which everyone in the universe even had the Celtics winning, and had ESPN BPI had them at 97% winning that game. He came out first quarter just dominating, like the way they played, the way they just like this entire playoffs for the Miami Heat would have made no sense for me. It was like they were like in the bottom third in 3-point shooting, and then the playoffs come on, and then they lose they get blown up by the Hawks at home in the first play-in. The second play-in, they're down 3 with 3 minutes to go left in their season, and then next thing you know, they're in the NBA Finals. Like how? So, so it's like it's a whole 180, a drastic 180. But then again, it's like I get that the seeding doesn't matter, but then again, these two teams played in the conference finals last year. It's basically the same Miami Heat team that was the number 1 seed last year. So, and plus, like he had injuries throughout the whole season and inconsistent shooting throughout the whole year, but you still got this main core from last year, and then you also got the same core from a couple years ago when they went to the finals in the bubble. So, as a second 8 seed to make it to the finals is quote unquote surprising, but then again, it's like it's Spoelstra, Jimmy Butler, Bam. You got that whole nucleus together, and they're coming into this final series thinking we got as good a shot to win this series against the Nuggets. So it would it be a surprise? Yeah, because the Nuggets, they've been lights out offensively. Jokic averaging triple double in these playoffs, like ridiculous. The way he finished the series against the Lakers was mind boggling.
All right, Eric.
I'm just saying. I'm just stating the facts, Bray. Just seeing the facts, right? So we'll see how the Heat zone defense they'll play, how they defend Jokic. If I'm the Miami Heat, I'll try not to play zone a lot, because Jokic, if he sees that zone a whole bunch of times, he's going to destroy it by game 3. And then you got Jamal Murray, who's been hot, Aaron Gordon, who can play against Jimmy Butler, and I don't know. I don't know, man. He had a really, really, really good run. I mean, they're real confident. They can win anywhere. They won in Milwaukee. They won in New York. They won in Boston. They won 3 out of the 4 games in Boston. Think about that.
They won a game 7 in Boston
by 20. Think about that. And they won 3 out of the 4 games in Boston.
That's crazy.
And what's wild is I personally think Miami is going to be one of the very few teams that's not going to be affected by the altitude in Denver.
No,
because of how well conditioned, like
because of the body fat.
There's stories with Miami, like in order you, right? Yeah, in order for you to be on that team, if you eat an Oreo the night before, it's over for you. You're not playing. So
what's the name? What was the name of James Johnson? Johnson?
Was it Jermaine? It was Jermaine O'Neal. I said that.
No, it was James Johnson who got let go.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. So
it was testing people's pee out there, man. Like, yo, you're not in fit condition.
Like, they don't party like at all. Like they're not a team that. So I think that's gonna surprise Denver. I think a little bit. The fact that like Miami could probably go toe to toe with them in that regard. The talent gap obviously is going to be insurmountable in my eyes, because if Jokic, listen, say what you want about Anthony Davis, but he was the best defender in the playoffs, hands down. And the way Jokic treated him, Bam Adebayo is in a rude awakening. He's in for a rude awakening.
Treat like child's play.
Yeah, man. And again, I'm not trying to discredit Bam, but Bam is not nearly the defender as AD.
Yeah.
I would love to see the Heat win as well, but I well, yeah, of course you don't. But I personally I don't think it's gonna happen. I think Jokic has been too good. Jamal Murray's been on fire. Michael Porter Jr. They're gonna have to match a lot of the shooting, and I think that's the Achilles heel of Miami. And also Jimmy Butler, like he can't have nights where he has, he just disappears, like in the Boston series.
Yeah,
there were like 3 games where he just like was non-existent.
He had 9 points at the end of the third and finished with 24. Like
he had a 3 for 19 shooting in game 6.
Come on,
Bam going like 4 for 12. Scoring 6 points. Like they have to be better in this series on a consistent basis, and obviously the others will show up. I think Gabe Vincent will show up.
Max Strus,
Celeb. Who the hell is that, Martin? Shout out to J. Cole, because whatever Celeb got, man, if he could replicate that, then
Celeb.
Miami, his name is Celeb. And
shout out to the Hornets. Shout out to the Hornets.
I know it's Caleb Martin, but I like to call him Celeb because he's not a full celebrity yet.
Bro, he was hitting turnaround fadeaways like Kobe.
Like Kobe. Yeah, it was crazy.
I'm not gonna lie. It was crazy. Yo, teams. I'm cheating a little bit before I talk about the overview. Teams, whatever GM sees this from Celeb, I'm gonna copy on that one. Yo, go get his twin brother. I will be calling like, yo, Charlotte, yo, what y'all want for him? What do y'all want for Cody? Yo, right now, I'll be like, yo, what do you want for Cody? I'll give you a first.
Yo, that is crazy.
Gotta have it in him.
First for Cody Martin is wild.
Gotta have it in him, bro.
We felt the same way when we had Kostas on the team, bro. So
no. It's different with twins.
You know what? You're right.
So Celeb, the half celebrity, Martin. If he can replicate what he did in Game 7, it's a series. But again, like Bam's gonna have lots of trouble against Jokic. So they're gonna have to defend him by committee, which is going to be.
I don't even like that.
Need the 6 fouls somewhere.
Yeah, you got to get 6 fouls somewhere. Because like again, the best way to defend Jokic is take everything else away. Let him be the primary scorer and take everything else away. But that is very difficult to do, especially with Miami because they don't have any size. So, and Denver's a big team. So we'll see. Denver has the shooting. That's consistent. Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., KCP, those guys. So we'll see.
Don't forget Jeff Green.
But yeah.
I would like to shout out the Nuggets. Mike Malone. I'll give you a shout out, man. I'm not gonna lie. You from New York City, so you automatically gonna have respect for me. New York over everything. But
so the Knicks over the Nets? What? That's what you just said. That you just said that.
The Nets are in Brooklyn. Are they not?
What?
Come on, bro.
Big B on the court, and it says Brooklyn, New York.
And I'm from Brooklyn.
But Brooklyn is a borough in
New York City. Bro, that's the Manhattan Knicks, man. Don't get me started on that. But I want to give a big shout out to Miami because every series they walked into, even going into the play-in, nobody had hope in them. And that's me. I'm part of that because I was just like, there's no way Miami is gonna beat the Bucks.
Right.
Beat them in 5. There's no way Miami is gonna beat the Knicks. Nah, I don't believe that. I didn't say that. But and I was like, there's no way. There's no way Miami's gonna beat the Celtics. And it's like, damn, man. So shout out to Miami, shout out to Spo. Because they just been, this is really like March Madness type Cinderella story that we're seeing right now. Celtics, I don't know how to, like, a lot of blame is going to Missoula, but Missoula, this is a hard thing that they just push him in the fire because
industry plant, because
his man's cheated. Like, what? I don't know, man. I don't.
What's crazy with Missoula is that his whole staff, they're leaving. Like they're going to Houston.
Yeah, like 3 of his staff members going to Houston. Like what?
They gave him a bad plate. Like it was just crazy. Trey JB. That's the other thing is like. Let me finish. But Missoula, the Missoula blame. I get it. He's the coach, but this guy is 33 years old, 34 years old, man.
Right.
There's players on the team that's older than him, man. Like,
bro, they said Jimmy Butler eliminated him back in college. Like,
yeah, he did,
bro.
So that's what I'm saying is like, this is tough for him to come in. This is first time on the coaching staff. Last year, like, he don't really know what he's doing.
One second, Harold. GSW beat the Nuggets. Yes, doing part of their offense, but go back to that series and let me know who Jokic had on his team at the time. Continue, Josh.
But Missoula, I don't want to give the blame to Missoula. I want to give it to the fake superstar in Tatum. This guy, even though yes, his numbers may say, oh man, he had 30 this game, he had this game. I don't feel the impact. What are you doing? Armani talked about no in-between game. He had an in-between game his first 2 years.
3-level scorer.
He let the the chart guys tell him, nah, man, optimize on threes and layups. Yep. That's the most efficient way to play. And look how that turned out for Harden. You want to go that route? Look how that turned out for Harden. That's all I'm saying. Like, the blame goes to Tatum. The blame goes to Jaylen Brown. Marcus Smart. We want to talk about Depoy, reigning Depoy player from last year. I didn't see no defensive impact from you. What are you doing out there? You're the leader of the team. You're the voice of the team. You're the Draymond.
I mean, he brought him back. Well, not single-handedly, but, he played a part of that.
These guys, they think they walking into a series. And, it's the same thing against the Sixers. They think they walking into the series like, we're fine. We got this. We made it to the finals last year. That's what they think these guys. They think people just go lay down. Happened with the Hawks, too. Hawks got 2 games off of them. For what?
A Trae Young game winner.
Like, come on. Crazy. So I feel like these guys are just also has to do with their age. They just feel like, we entitled. We made to finals last year. We always successful. It's our time anyway. No.
Sorry to interrupt and harp on the Nuggets again, Harold. Last season, yes, KC, yes. Aside from KCP and Bruce Brown, but Jamal Murray was on that team. So was Michael Porter Jr. Did they play in that series against the Warriors? The answer is no. So, which means they didn't have the same team last season versus this year. That's what I'm saying.
when they played the Blazers, they was young, so I'm not going.
Yeah, like come on, stop.
Let's be fair, Harry.
Let's be objective here.
Let's be real. Harry want to get in. He want to get on. But yeah, that's my rant. With is just those three main guys, and Horford out there, man. This guy is brisket out there, man. He's just running around like I don't know. Him and then Robert Williams. I don't even like. It's too much, man. This team.
And then remember, Mazzulla went to the big lineup and started Robert Williams and Al Horford together, which started mucking up the spacing even worse.
Right.
So he was actually forcing them to shoot more threes because there was no space in the paint.
He said, "Scrap that. I'm going back to Derek White."
Yeah. It was bad.
He played really well, really well this series, really well.
Yeah, I feel like it's more an indictment of the Celtics just thinking like they better, and Miami was just like, okay, we gonna outwork you.
But Boston's very undisciplined though. It's a very undisciplined team.
But here's what's crazy about the Celtics though. These last two playoff seasons, they're under 500 at home, 12 and 13. Like what?
And
right.
just to rain on their parade, they have only won one championship in the last 30 years. Thank God. God is great. God is so good. God is so good. But yes,
if it wasn't for Paul Pierce against the Cavaliers,
JB, get out of there, bro. Get out, bro.
Bro. As we move on to now the finals, which starts tomorrow night at 8:30. Eastern, 5:30 Pacific on ESPN.
So on ABC.
Yeah, also on ABC. Who you guys got? Let's make our early predictions right now. Who's winning the chip? How many games? Let's go with Armani.
Nah, all right. Seriously though, I got the Heat. I got the Heat in. Josh, why you laughing, son? I got the Heat in 7. It's going to be tough, but I got the Heat in 7.
Okay, Josh.
Listen, man. I feel like I don't want to jinx the Nuggets because I picked against.
Nah, go ahead.
I picked against the Heat in every series, and they've been just blowing that ish out the water, bro. Like I don't know, but Jokic is the best player in the world, so Nuggets in 6, man. Nuggets in 6.
Eric.
Yeah, I got Nuggets in 6, man. I just think Jamal Murray's gonna ball out this series, bro.
Okay. My mind says Heat in 7, but after a grueling 7-game series,
which it should have been a sweep, man.
It should have took care of business. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say Nuggets in 5.
Okay.
I just think the talent gap is too much. Tyler Hero is expected to be back by game 3.
I don't see him making a difference.
He ain't coming back.
Yeah, he's gonna try to play hero ball. But I don't know, man. I trust me. I like Miami's grit. I like their resilience. And like I said, game 1 is gonna tell me a lot. I do think Miami has a little of the advantage because they're still riding hot or playing so recently versus. It'll be 11 days of Denver just sitting around and waiting. So, game 1 we'll see, but I just think Denver will win it out. They have no one to guard Jokic. They really have nobody. So, I'm gonna say Nuggets in 5. But yeah, so that's the finals. On to the next NBA coaching news, man. A lot of vacancies around the league right now with a lot of teams, right? We have the Toronto Raptors still need a coach. We had the Houston Rockets that needed a coach.
No, they already got a coach.
I know. I'm just going through the teams that have coaches, and we're gonna name who got the job.
Okay.
You had Houston who needed a coach. Phoenix needed a coach. Detroit needed a coach. Philly needed a coach as well. And I think that was, if I'm not mistaken, that was it. Those 5 teams, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. And out of those 5 teams, 3 of those have been fulfilled. Excuse me, sorry, there's 6 teams. Milwaukee, I forgot. So out of the 6 teams, 4 of them have been fulfilled. You have now Ime Udoka in Houston. You have Andre Griffin, right? That is Adrian Griffin.
Adrian
Griffin, now the head coach in Milwaukee. We have Nick Nurse, who's now the head coach in Philadelphia. And newly announced about like 20 minutes ago, Monty Williams with a ginormous contract to become the head coach of the Detroit Pistons. So we still have out there.
That's not to interrupt you, but there's sounds are saying that the deal could exceed over $100 million.
Yeah, with incentives. Yeah. So
yeah, they said it's the largest coaching deal in NBA history.
What incentives is attached to what the hell?
Yeah, so like I'm sure the incentives are reach a certain win a certain amount of games, reach the playoffs.
A player has to win the MVP.
Not all that. So now we still have Toronto, who needs a coach at the moment, and Phoenix right now, who's still looking for a head coach. And the three finalists, if I'm not mistaken, for Phoenix is Frank Vogel, Kevin Young, who was an assistant on that team, and Glenn Doc Rivers. So how do you guys feel about the coaching moves? Do you think these teams get better with the new coaching staffs and so forth? What are you guys' takes on that?
I like the move for the Pistons. I don't know about the incentive part. $100 million for coaches, crazy. But hey, if you got it, splurge it. But I like it for the Pistons.
And shout out to Detroit for keeping the black coach cycle though, for real.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out. I think he's the right coach for Cade and guys like Cade, Jaden Ivey, Duran, and all those guys over there. They have a very young team, and we've seen him actually nurture young talent in many of his stops in his career. So I like that move a lot. Nick Nurse, I like that move also, even though I hate Philly. I think
I was going to jump in, but you go ahead. I was going to say that I just feel like Philly just hired another coach to throw under the bus. It's going to be the same story, bro.
That's why I like it.
It's really not. Listen,
same
Nick
story.
Nurse, like he's like a Tom Thibodeau guy.
Yeah, they call him Nick Tibbs.
He plays his guys to the ground during the season.
They said Twitter said they're gonna run and beat it to the ground 45 minutes against the Hornets in December.
He be complaining about being injured in the playoffs. He's definitely gonna be living like yo. But he's a good coach. I think he's a smidge overrated, but he's a good coach, and it was a good hire for them for what was available. The Bucks thing, I don't know, something's going on over there. First time head coach and the owner selling in the Giannis prime, guys.
Yeah,
it's happening.
Something's happening there.
It's happening
for sure.
You as an owner, you don't sell the team in the middle of your superstar's prime. So all that stuff is indicated is like a little weird over there. And I just
Middleton. Plus you got Middleton and Brook Lopez, broke free agents.
Brook, come back home, baby. But I really pray that the Suns to get Doc Rivers is nothing better to pair Mr. Cupcake and Doc Rivers together.
Oh, that's crazy. Come on, man.
Wow.
I
Come on, man. Let it go.
I'm sorry, Book. I'm sorry you have to go through it, but you're just a bystander right now.
But I wonder. What's interesting is the Raptors job has not been taken yet, and there have been rumors about what's the team's direction on what the side wants to do with that. And roster.
I think that's why they haven't signed a coach yet, because I think the front office is split on a rebuild or a retool. And
rebuild.
Listen, you can get a lot of bang for your buck for those wing players that they have. So
they asking for too much. They wanted 4 firsts for OG.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
come on, bro. Like
they got to relax on that. Nah,
that's Masai overdriving the price. You know he's doing that.
And look what happened.
If you think about considering what, like, I hate to bring this up, but considering what the Lakers got and Jared Vanderbilt, OG is kind of like the same player, but OG is a little bit better, right? Like, I mean,
think about McHale.
Right? Yeah, McHale. Even
People
better.
was offering the Nets 4 picks for McHale, and they was like, nah.
Right. Right. So there's no way OG is worth 4 first rounders unprotected. Yeah, stop. We gotta stop that.
Yeah, I don't know. And I think Van Vliet is a free agent.
Yep.
Siakam's on the expiring.
Yeah.
Gary Trent is a free agent.
He's a free agent too.
And then Scotty Barnes after next season,
he's a play option.
Is due for a rookie extension. So
yeah, that's right.
Too much. And then OG, they said there was rumors about him axing out. It was like, yo, what?
Yeah, he was actually
coach,
during the season.
Yeah.
Coach wants to go into that situation. I don't know.
You know, I think they need to rebuild. They had that 1 year, like after they won the chip, they had that 1 year. They made it to the playoffs in the bubble, and then the 2021 season they tanked to get Scotty Barnes. Then the next year they make the playoffs, 48 wins, and then this past year, not a playing. They're barely.
It was a playing team.
Yeah, they're barely a playing team. So it's like, Masai, make a decision, because you was taking calls during the trade deadline about OG. You was taking calls from Fred VanVleet. I even heard some rumors about Scotty Barnes. So,
I want to say this. Raptors fans, y'all was saying y'all didn't want to give up Scotty Barnes or KD. How do y'all look at that?
Y'all could have been in the championship race, man. You got Kawhi, you got Nick Nurse, but
Kawhi was going to leave anyway. He wasn't staying there.
It was I know he was a one year rental. But as far as the other hires, I think as far as Houston, Detroit, they want to start speeding up the process. They want to start winning now. And besides of Houston, also they got $60 million in
winning now.
That's that from Houston. From
gonna try.
Well, especially with the moves that Houston is trying to make in the offseason.
They got $60 million in salary cap.
Yeah, I gotta wait and see what the roster looks like before. Like, I can't expect them to have Kenyon Martin Jr., Jalen Green, and Kevin and Şengün and Kevin Porter Jr. saying, "Well, we got to win now." I don't know about all that.
I'll give him clacks for Şengün.
Can you stop with the Brooklyn Nets stuff? Y'all not doing nothing, bro.
Shout out Clack.
But I was saying is that I think Houston they got $60 million in cap space, so we'll see around draft.
Yeah,
draft time they're gonna start making moves. So like
Houston's trying to offer a bag to Austin Reeves too, which is
and they trying to trade the 4th pick too.
They got the 4th pick. So, and what's funny is Portland has the 3rd pick, and what they're trying to do. We'll see what they're trying to do.
Man, Portland, come on, you're not fooling nobody, Portland. Damn, you're not fooling nobody either, brother. Like, I get it, the loyalty. Stop. Just stop. Just ask out, because that's what you want to do. Portland doesn't want to continue to build around you. They'd rather keep the pick. Just come on, man. Like, we get it. We understand.
We won't even be mad at you.
Yeah, we won't. Like, that's the thing. Like, I don't understand. Like, dog.
It's like, all right,
by the fan base.
But why?
The fan base can't hate him because
hate him.
They are. They delusional over there. I didn't know Blazers had like a Twitter section, but I've been seeing it lately because they want McHale so bad. I'm just like, yo, y'all delusional. They like, yo, let's just give everything up. We could rob the Nets. We could get McHale and Clax. I was like,
that's not gonna get them anywhere. Like,
But also, as far as our coaching hires, the Bucks hire with Adrian Griffin. So they were saying that Giannis met with the candidates for the coaching job for the Bucks. It's like, okay, that's interesting, because usually that doesn't happen. But I think they're trying to like make sure that giving the
that's protocol. That's protocol.
Yeah, but at the same time, like
if it doesn't work, well, Giannis picked them guys.
Yeah. But then again,
that's wrong. It's a step to success. What you mean?
Success. They won a championship 2 years ago. Now, come on. Anyway, but I think that's kind of interesting what's going on in Milwaukee, and plus they got that big tax bill coming up, so they're trying to like start cutting salary because when that CBA starts to hit in 2024, teams want to make sure that they got their books right.
Yeah. So speaking of salary and free agency and getting the books right, before we end it, I want to touch on the offseason. As we know, all of our teams right now are just about finished with Cancun and about to get back into the offices and start to gear up for the draft, and for next season, free agency and all that stuff. Let's start with Eric in the Knicks. Again, this is rapid fire, nothing too crazy, but what would you like to see the Knicks do this offseason? Certain free agents that you may like that you would like to see on the Knicks, and then we'll go to Josh and then Armani and myself.
So I've been screaming this for at least for the last 3 years. I'm trading Randall, bro. Get him out, bro.
He's going left. He's
going left. He was a no. Oh, they're gonna tell me, he can't replace 25 and 10 during the regular season. In the playoffs, he doesn't show me that. So if I had my choice, I'm trading Randall, and I'm trying to get back as many picks as I can, or trying to get back a play that's better than Julius Randle. Because after what I saw in the playoffs, I'm building with Jalen Brunson in mind.
The thing is about Randall, like I said this like a while ago, like you don't know what his value is.
That's the thing. Like the Knicks think that his value is high, but around the league, it's not.
Right.
That's the thing. That's the problem. And I think that's I get why they gave him that extension after the 2021 season, but it kind of, I don't know what set them back, was like it kind of put him at a holding pattern. You know what I mean?
Trapped him.
Yeah. And then plus the signings of Fournier and Kemba Walker, that was like a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
So you know that Fournier, they trying to get off of his contract. Derrick Rose,
I just seen something about D Rose as well.
Yeah, they're trying to get off his contract and probably do a little team friendly deal. I don't know about that. But I think the main thing for the Knicks this summer, you got to build with Jalen Brunson in mind, because and on top of that, with the new CBA, I keep coming back to it. Jalen Brunson, he's gonna be going for the super max if he keeps playing his contract.
Mm-hmm.
So let's keep that in mind, okay?
Yep.
So if he outplays his contract like he did this first year, only get $104 million, he's gonna get double of that, or at least like $250. So and also the front office movement right now. Yeah, Scott Perry leaving, which you kind of see that coming because right now Leon Rose, he's now more comfortable in how the operation works in the front office, and plus you got World West, Gerson Rosas from the Timberwolves. So there's gonna be a whole lot of noise about Karl Anthony Towns, which do I really want him?
Hired him?
No, he's a consultant. He was with them since last year as a consultant, and also he was on the phones during the whole Donovan Mitchell trade scenario back last summer. So the fact that you got that going, and then you have the whole Karl Anthony Towns rumor swirling around, which I really don't want him on my team along Julius Randle, because that would be good. That would be like commit playoff suicide. Nice. Yeah. So just build around Jalen. I'm building with Jalen Brunson in mind, because I'm not trying to see him in 2 years look like a short version of Patrick Ewing. Like ice packs around his shoulders, his hips, knees, ankles. Nah, I'm not trying to have him die out on the playoff floor with no one helping him. Nah, that was just an embarrassment when I saw that from the last playoff game. But yeah, it's just like, and then see if you can get some more shooting, because they were building brick houses during the playoffs. During the playoffs, especially during the Cavaliers series, they got away with that because Mitchell Robinson was killing them on the rebounding.
Mm-hmm.
So they need shooting. and somehow, some way, trade Julius Randle.
I got Joe Harris for you.
But he's I don't like him, but I don't like the defense though.
No, he's fine. He's decent on defense. Just gonna be a first round pick next year.
No, you know what's gonna happen? Tibbs gonna sit him like he did Evan Fournier.
Nah, he'll play a lot. He'll play. Tibbs will love to play like him. He tries. You know, Tibbs love to play who tries.
Yeah, we'll see. But my number one, my personal sake, I want them to trade Julius Randle. But here's the reality. They might bring this whole thing back again. They might replay it back again. It's like, all right,
nothing wrong with that.
You'll get rid of Julius Randle if you attach picks.
That's the thing, though.
Oh, I don't. You think it's that bad? I don't think it's bad like that.
You're gonna have to attach picks. You're gonna have to. You're gonna have to.
And plus, they got a whole bunch of first round picks upcoming in the next 7 years. So
yeah, you're gonna have to. Attach picks, you can get off him. So I don't see if especially if it's a good player. I don't see why the Knicks won't do it. So, but yeah, you know, there we got that. Thank you, Eric, for that for the Knicks. On to the Nets, Mr. Tear It Down. Give me your wishes of what or things you would like to see the Nets do this offseason.
What I wish for us to do is not going to happen, so I just got to live in reality of mid. So
the Washington Wizards. That's a me straight, bro.
Just straight 40-win teams for the next 3 years, just flaming out in the first round. But
wow.
Since we're gonna build this thing through McHale and Cam Johnson, I don't know how he's a building block, but okay. We're gonna build this through him and Claxton, so that's our core three. See how horrible that is. So we're gonna build through them. I would like for us. I don't even know if we have cap space. This is just so. Oh my god, it's so bad. I would like to bring back Brooke. Bring Brooke back home. Bring the true number 11 back home. Bring Honor back to 11.
Wow.
Yo, hella didn't need that stray, bro. Like,
wow.
Who's that? I would like to bring Brooke.
That's
Brooke.
crazy.
Yo, come on, man.
You're crazy.
Come on, man.
You're crazy for that.
The one thing about Brooke, he will fit great next to Claxton. He does everything Claxton lacks. Except for the rebounding. So I would love that move to happen. I guess you gotta re-sign Cam Johnson. I don't.
But here's the thing: y'all don't have the cap to sign him. Like
we have Emilito. We have Emilito.
Brooke Lopez is gonna get more than the mid level. Are you insane?
Exactly. But come on now.
Insane. He was I believe second in defensive player voting or third.
Yeah.
He's not getting the MLE. You come on, bro.
You got to pay him at least 20 mil.
Tell me who has the money to sign him.
He's getting at least 20 mil per.
From who?
Yes.
Does Milwaukee have his bird rights?
Yeah, they do.
So
you think that cheap owner, the owner that just bought them, he owns the Cleveland Browns. You think that guy is going to give Brooke Lopez 20 million? He's going to ask, is he a star? No? Okay, bye.
But the MLE, nah, there's no way.
Tell me who's offering Brooke Lopez 20 million.
Someone's going to offer him 20 mil. Trust me.
Someone's going to offer him something north of 20. Like,
what team can other than the Rockets? The Rockets not going to do it because he can't play with
Spurs
Harden.
Can.
Before you go to bed?
He'll be with with Victor. He'll be a mentor for Victor.
Okay, I like that. Okay, all right. You got to go with that one. But
OKC can.
Him and Chet Holmgren, SGA.
Who goes to OKC? Nobody.
If the Lakers,
they got something
listen,
down there.
If the Lakers can't re-sign Rui because a number was too high, and they renounced Bamba, they got money to sign Brooke Lopez.
No, bro, no, it's not happening. He's not going back to Lala, bro. He didn't even want to be there to begin with.
Oh no, he had a bad stint there for sure. He had
y'all treated my boy bad. Why would he go back? But anyway, I would love to bring in Brook Lopez. I would love to bring in anybody who could rebound other than Brook Lopez too. Like if the Nets, I'm hearing rumors about the Nets trading one of the first round picks that we have, and just try to get like Isaiah Stewart. There's a lot of bigs over there in Detroit. Trade something. Try to get Isaiah Stewart out of there. He's a good rebounder, even though he's undersized. I would love that move too. But other than that, if I have to pick between Dame and Zach LaVine, it's just like, just give me Dame, I guess.
It's not a question, bro.
I mean, we're just stuck in mid, man. Harry, if you're still here, man, you got your wish. But that's just my off-season moves to the Nets, and we need a point guard. So point guard, backup big is what we need. Wings, we're set, beyond set. It's like sign back Utah, sign back Edmondson.
What about Jock? You don't want Jock Lande? I'm being serious.
Okay.
He's unrestricted, I believe.
All right, man. But the Nets are pretty in a weird.
Bismack Biyombo
still got the 2 first-round picks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we got the 2 first-round picks. I would love for us to trade that fake Sixers first that we have. Because it's top 7 protected. They're not going to be bottom 7 team in the near future right now. But point guard, big that could rebound, or Brook. That's it. Resign Utah, resign Edmund Sumner, ship off Patty Mills, ship off Joe Harris.
You can't ship those guys off. They have no value at all.
Joe Harris is the Don. They're not shipping Joe Harris out.
Joe Harris is one.
Joe Harris had more clout than Kyrie and KD, man.
Stop it. We're not doing that because Joe Harris didn't say hire Steve Nash. We're not doing that, bro. We're not doing that. We not standing up for those 2 wusses out there, man.
Wow.
Yo. Damn. All right, that wound is still fresh. Armani.
Yo, man.
For the Lake Show,
this guy's crazy.
What are some of the things you like to see Lakers do this offseason?
First things first, I think priority.
Okay,
what you say?
Nah. Yo, relax.
I think the first thing we really, I don't know, because like last week, remember we had this. Oh wow.
First time in history. First time in history.
Which one you with?
I think we just need to figure out what LeBron is doing, like where his head is at.
He's not retiring.
He's not retiring.
Retiring.
He got $100 million coming. Okay,
we need to figure that out.
97.9, I believe, to be exact.
Yeah.
And the thing with LeBron James, he always fulfills his contracts. That's what he does. He has 1 more year left on that deal, which is next season. So
after that, you worry.
And
yes. After that, you worry. Yeah.
Number 1 priority is Stone Cold Reeves Austin. Get him back on the squad. You know.
Better than Cam Thomas.
I would. What you gonna say something, Josh?
Wait, all right. I'm not gonna interrupt after this.
No, go ahead.
I didn't know this man was 26 years old. Why is he my age? Yo, get out of here, bro. He's not no young guy. Yo, get out of here, bro.
Yo, listen.
Cam is way better than him. Yeah, I'm gonna say it.
There will be no Austin Reeves slander allowed on this podcast. Okay,
I just have to get that off my chest.
Austin Reeves is better than Cam Thomas. Stop.
I just saw it. They said happy birthday, Austin Reeves, 26 years old. I'm like, wait, is this guy a rookie? What? That's it.
Yo, listen. He played 4 years of college. You understand? He played for 2 schools.
You know, 3 years, man. 26.
Listen, man. Listen. It's all right. It's all good.
All right. So yes, Stone Cold Reeves Austin, get him back on the squad. I would love to have Rui Hachimura back on the squad as well too. Like to Rob Pelinka's point, keep the core. I would love to have Vando back, and then everybody else, we just figure out everybody else. Honestly.
So you don't want D'Lo back?
I don't know. I think if we can't get anybody else, like I'm okay with having Austin Reeves run the point guard. I'm okay with that. But I feel like I would love to have Fred VanVleet. Yeah, man, he's a dog. He's a dog, man.
Armani wants him because of what he did to Steph Curry in the finals.
he's a dog, man.
I do not want any undersized guards, man. I do not.
But D'Lo's is a 6'5" guard and has no foot speed at all. You know,
we got to save Darvin from himself, okay? Because he likes to play this 3-guard lineup, right? Which is fine. You can play a 3-guard lineup, but you can't play a 3-guard lineup if Lonnie Walker's your small forward, okay?
Right? Of course, right.
And you add Fred VanVleet to that equation. That's what we're looking at.
Hey, honestly, that's just with the personnel that you get around the team, so that way you don't have to play that. But I would love to have FVV on the team. He's a dog. D'Lo, I don't know, man, because like I just can't. They still trolling D'Lo on Twitter. They said D'Lo's getting up shots at the Game 7 of the Boston and Celtics. They're cooking him right now.
I'm a Lakers fan, Mikey.
They're smoking him right now. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I appreciate D'Lo for what he did in LA. His second time around, you know, he's I don't know, he just get on the hot streak, can't stop him. But Austin Reeves, Rui, Vando, possibly, I don't see how we can get FEV. I mean, obviously through the sign and trade. And I think Abe just figure out the rest with everybody else. Oh, Max Christie, bring him back on board. But Lonnie Walker, I really want to keep him, but I feel like he had the Malik Monk season. He outplayed his contract. Troy Brown, he'd go somewhere, figure it out. Come on, bro. Bamba could go somewhere. I'm sorry, it didn't work out. And that's it. That's pretty much it. And AD, you got to work on your game, bro. You have to work on your game. Like I want you to come back next season taking no prisoners. Like I appreciate AD on the defensive end, the offensive end. Like I need that back. Like I remember when AD shot threes and made them. Now it's just like, oh, he's shooting a 3. Like, yeah. So that's honestly my off-season plans for the Lake Show.
Okay. I have a small rebuttal on the Anthony Davis thing. I criticized AD, his performance. And I was emotional, after a loss like that and getting swept. And I had to, come back and watch the game where I actually sat and rewatched the whole series.
You put yourself through that?
Absolutely. Anthony Davis, listen, Anthony Davis, man, has been generational on the defensive end. It literally was the only reason why we were in a lot of games and we dominated a lot of games because of his defense. Yes, the offense was very up and down. That was the most consistent thing about his offensive game was the fact that he was inconsistent. But also at the same time, you got to realize the dude is literally doing everything on defense, literally everything on defense. So at the end of the day, you gotta realize that AD's been saying since he got to LA, I'm not a 5. And yes, the numbers speak to him playing the 5, the plus minus is a lot better, the team plays better, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, when we won the chip, it's because AD played the 4 and he played the 5 in spot minutes where the matchups made sense. Mm-hmm. Anthony Davis has been telling us that for a reason because his body can't handle it. His body can't bang with the 5s. And I think we need to go get a 5, a starting caliber 5. My hope is Miles Turner. I think Miles Turner and Anthony Davis.
Better, though.
Excuse me?
It's not much better.
No, it is much better. If AD can roam and he's not the primary defender at the rim all the time. But
I'm just saying from an injury standpoint, I don't know the last time Miles Turner played past February trade deadline.
No, you have a great point. He was dealing with a foot injury last year. And remember, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, beginning of the year, he got hurt because the ball boy roll the ball on the court or something like that. He injured his ankle. I get it. I understand.
Wait,
but,
that happened?
Yes, it happened. There's
some KD injury.
But we also got to realize that Miles Turner was hurt because, again, he was the only defensive guy on that team, and he's playing a lot of those minutes. Him and Anthony Davis together, though, you offset some of the workload for each other. So that's on the AD thing. But needless to say, AD does have to play better. I think from an offensive standpoint, he needs a go-to move. He doesn't have one. I don't think. He needs a bag.
He mastered that elbow jumper, bro.
Yeah,
and then
his go-to move is the rip through to get a foul call. Yeah.
Okay.
I see that. I see that like 50 times a game.
But yeah. So as far as the Lakers as a whole, listen. Yes, 1A, 1B is Austin Reeves. We can match any deal. The Lakers will match any deal. I don't think Austin Reeves is going anywhere. Rui Hachimura, I think the Lakers match any deal, but I think there is a walk-away point if it gets too expensive for Rui. I think if it hits around like 20 to 22 million, a year, they may say, that's a little bit steep on our end, and have that money and spend it elsewhere. I
got a question. Would you rather pay Rui 20 or Reeves 20?
I'm paying Reeves.
Yeah,
that's a tough.
Think about it.
Yeah, I had to think about it. Because what Reeves can do, like Rui offers again, like his game reminds me a lot of like Kawhi Leonard, like very mid-range game is pretty solid. He's a big guy, 6'8", can defend a little bit, and still has room to grow. I just think Austin Reeves, if you look at the overall skill set, he just offers more of what the Lakers need. And not to say that we don't need Rui's height and mid-range scoring, because we do, but Austin Reeves can shoot the mid-range, and he's very good at drawing fouls, and he can play make. So
he has good IQ for a young
now.
player.
Obviously, I think a lot of that is credit to the fact that he's on the floor with Anthony Davis and LeBron. Like, if you put Austin Reeves on the Rockets, Austin Reeves is not gonna get the touches.
But if you put him on the Nets, he hooping straight up.
I mean, he'll be the best player. But anywho, Austin Reeves is 1A. You resign him.
He came out of college and he's instantly in his prime. Like, come on, bro. He came out at 27 years old. Like, come on, man.
Chill out. He just turned 26. Chill out. What you call it? Austin Reeves is the number one priority. You do re-sign him. You match pretty much any offer, and again, you 1B is Rui Hachimura. Now, you get to the nitty gritty of everything else, right? Which is the biggest fish or the biggest elephant in the room is D'Angelo Russell. I do think,
man, D'Lo getting up shots as we speak, man.
At a cost for 20 to 25 million. Yes, I retaining D'Lo, and yes, and I will see how he does this year, and
how many years though? How many years?
It'll be like 2 to 3 with a player option, and being that I can shop that,
right,
if it doesn't work out, it's a team friendly deal. I'm not giving him north of 30. I'm not giving him the max. That is ridiculous. And if he's looking for that and that's all he wants, then yeah, it is what it is. Now, when you look at Mo Bamba and Malik Beasley, I look to trade those two guys, attach a pick, and see what I can get.
Only thing with Bamba, I just feel like his window of opportunity wasn't as big as
because he was hurt.
Right, exactly. But I'm willing to give him like another chance if the money's right. So
nope. He can go. Beasley.
we can shop that.
Yeah, I think, and I think Beasley's great, man. I just think he on the defensive end, and that's what most like predominantly like shooters specialists are. Like, just not really good on defense. And then Jared Vanderbilt, I think you pick up that option. I think you keep him.
Hell yeah.
And again, it's another guy that's a good wing defender, and if it doesn't work out, he's on a team friendly deal. You could trade that. So I think for the most part, you bring the same group back. What concerns me the most, though, if this is LeBron James's last year, you kind of need to make it count, and you really can't mess around with experimental things, and hence why a lot of these like star names come up, because it's probably LeBron James's last year as a Laker, last year in the league. Personally, I think he takes a year off and comes back though. But you got to really think about what you want to do with just the 1 year, because if LeBron is going to leave after next season, that means Anthony Davis should be on the table.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to keep it real. So the Lakers have a lot of thinking they have to do, because not only are they making moves for the now, they have to make moves for their future, because they don't know what, if this is indeed LeBron James's last season, then you have to really think about, okay, what are we going to look like for next year when LeBron's not here? So, ultimately, that's what I think. It's still very early. I'm hearing a lot of names like Mouse Turner. I'm hearing connected. Obviously Kyrie Irving is always going to be connected, but I just don't think that'll happen. I don't think Dallas is not going to help Kyrie get to the Lakers, because that's the only way he can do that and keep his money is via sign and trade. If Kyrie wants to take less, and I'm talking way less, he can walk and the Lakers can just sign him outright. But I don't think that'll happen. So that's out the window. Fred VanVleet, I like Fred VanVleet, the player. I just don't think he's a good fit, because he's a small guard. And if Austin Reeves is going to have the ball, if Austin Reeves is starting next year with LeBron, they're both going to have the ball. What is Fred VanVleet going to be doing? So that concerns me, because he's not that much of a great playmaker. And D'Lo's a better playmaker to me than Fred VanVleet. So I don't know, what happens with that. DeMar DeRozan, I'm hearing as well, the Bulls may be looking to,
I'm hearing Zach LaVine
make some moves. Yeah, Zach LaVine, I'm hearing connected to the Nets. Yeah. Again, we'll see how that goes.
But also, I don't know, possibly him and D'Lo sign and trade.
Listen, unless I'm not a fan of the sign and trade too much, because of the hard cap, and when you sign and trade, for a player, or even to the double sign and trade, whatever, you both teams get hard cap. There's limited moves you can do. You're operating as if you're a second apron team in a luxury tax. You really don't have much options to improve your team. So I'm not a fan of the sign. That's why I'm not a fan of the sign and trade for D'Lo for Kyrie, because then we'll have AD, Kyrie, and LeBron on max deals and minimum players with Austin Reeves. Because you would have to lose Rui, you would lose Vanderbilt, you would lose Bamba, you would lose D'Lo, you would lose all those guys. So in order to fit Kyrie into that cap. So no, I'm just not a fan of it, because from the roster construction standpoint, it makes it very, very difficult for the Lakers to build a competent team, and will look like the team in 2021, 2022, where we had Russ, AD, LeBron, and Melo, and Wayne Ellington, and DJ Augustine, and Avery Bradley, and Rondo, Ariza. Like it wasn't good, right? So I'm not a fan of it. But we'll see. It's very early, and we'll see what happens from here on out. And lastly, before we end it, Bob Myers.
The Warriors are dying nasty.
Bob Myers and the Warriors agreed to part ways. And Bob Myers elected to step down from his GM role there. What is it? 4 titles in 6 or 7 years. So, very impressive run. But I think this marks the beginning of the end of the Warriors, because there was a $500 million tax bill on the horizon for them, if they retain everyone on the roster that they have now. And you have Clay up for extension, who wants a max supposedly. You have Draymond, who's going to unrestricted free agency this summer. You have to figure that out, right? You still have Jordan Poole.
When KD pulled up, I'm not sacrificing nothing.
Listen, we'll see. I mean, what do you guys take from Bob Myers leaving? Do you think it's over? Do you think I would say, do you think the Warriors now look to move off of Jordan Poole? Do they look to move off Draymond? Do they look to move off Clay? Is that core still going to be there?
I think so.
I feel like if you want to,
I think still
if you want some sort of leverage, you got to get rid of Poole. Then figure out the rest.
I think they keep the core somehow, but I think they got to make some moves around the core. Jordan Poole, maybe ship off one of the kids, like a Moses Moody or maybe a Kuminga, if they really want to go for it for one last time. But they're in a tough spot. Like,
hey, Curry got a couple more years in the league, and it's over. Retirement, baby.
And that tax bill is heavy. You could talk about $500 million.
Yeah,
$500 million. Oof.
It might be over for the Warriors, but I can't say it's over until I see Steph lose a bit of his powers. So I'm gonna hold off on that. You could always somebody's gonna take that Jordan Poole contract, Just like everybody loves to help the Lakers, people love to help the Warriors.
Whoa. That's not true. That's not true. Okay. No one likes to help the Lakers. That's not true.
All right, bro.
That's not true.
Bro, we got a lot of enemies, bro.
Only Pop.
And Mark Cuban.
Okay, Pop, Mark Cuban, and Josiah. Ooh. There's other teams in the league.
James Dolan.
What?
Nah, not really.
That whole Leon Rose CAA thing is real. CAA and Clutch do not get along, bro.
Y'all sound just like Mike Malone right now. I see why y'all mad, because y'all fighting for the same thing. But
that's crazy. That's crazy. No one helps the Lakers out. I don't know where you get. Chris Paul, remember that trade? That never happened.
I mean, even though those guys were net negatives in y'all last playoff series, y'all got those three guys for free.
For free? Nah, we gave them a pick.
Oh. A highly protected pick. Oh my gosh!
Which also conveys to seconds if it doesn't.
I don't know. I'm not gonna say what I say offline about teams that help the Lakers, but y'all have that a lot, man.
The only team I think that helps the Lakers is the Wizards, honestly.
Don't get me started on that.
And Tony Shepard is out. He's not there anymore. So.
The former GM of the Clippers, now the GM of the Wizards.
He talking about that move. I think I like that move for the Wizards. Hopefully they make the right decision and not be mid like the Nets are going to be for the next few years. But they felt bad that they robbed y'all in one of the trades, and he was like, "Yo, here, sorry, big bro, here's this." His Rui, like
we gave him Kendrick Nunn in 3 seconds.
Come on.
and then we turned around and traded Thomas Bryant to the Nuggets for 3 seconds.
He about to get a chip.
And he about to get a chip, so he got the last laugh, man. No one helps us.
Okay, man. But I guess that's just a part of NBA culture, Lakers is always gonna rob somebody, and everybody's like, "Yeah, just take my stuff, man." So it is what it is. But
yeah, man. Listen, at the end of the day, we'll see what happens in the offseason. There's a lot of things that's going to happen. Enjoy the finals, guys. It does start tomorrow. Look out for the next episode. I would say let's regroup after game 2. After we see games 1 and 2, the series heading back to Miami. Let's see where both teams are. Hopefully it's 1-1 and we get a nice series. long series because without basketball for a little bit, it's gonna be wild. But we still got the WNBA this summer as well to tune into. But
yo, you so Stewie with that black eye?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Yo,
and also the Liberty looking real scary though.
Yeah.
Real scary.
But no,
looking better than the Nets. Tell you that.
You can't. There's no like wow factor behind what I'm about to say. But the Aces are looking crazy right now.
They're a super team. Like they're a super team. That's unfair.
Bro, they're averaging like 96 points a game, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy.
One thing on the Aces, ladies. The one time I bet on y'all, I threw $50 on y'all. I was
yo, come on.
I put the spread. Y'all always beat everybody by 16, except for that game. You won by 8. You was down at halftime. I was like, wait, what's happening? What's going on? Ladies.
Wow.
Yo, Becky Hammond getting strays. The Aces getting strays is crazy.
Come on, ladies. Like, don't do that. Every time I put my money on y'all only barely win.
I
Be dominant.
Diana Taurasi kind of messed me over in the first game of the season. She couldn't. Yo, she fell out at like 16. I'm like, yo, damn, like, come on. Brittany Griner was hooping, yo, for real.
Yo,
welcome back, BG.
And FanDuel, I don't know if I have the same thing. No, you know how I feel about
like the John Morant thing. I feel depressed. Go look at this.
FanDuel, let us be able to bet Sabrina triple doubles, please. I would like to see the plus 10,000 odds, please. Thank you. She's gonna do it one game, and it's gonna be crazy. Please, FanDuel.
Shout out to FanDuel. Let's get a sponsorship going. Hit my line, FanDuel.
Yeah.
Well, we bet, man. Come on, hit us up.
But yeah, until next time, guys. Enjoy the finals, as I said. Enjoy some of the WNBA games that are coming up. And we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys after game 2.
Yo, congrats, Melo, on the retirement.
Yes,
Hall of Fame career.
Congrats to Melo.
Shout out to the real number 7. Shout out to the real number 7
and the real number 15 on the Nuggets.
That's not Joe Johnson. Oh, all right.
Huh?
That's not ISO Joe. I thought that was ISO Joe. Hey, funny story. I was working in Tribeca. This is a while back. And Joe Johnson used to live down there. And one time, I'm in the store and he walks in and he's doing his shopping. I'm doing my shopping. And I asked him, I said, yo, Joe, just about the game, whatever. And this is when he was on the Nets. And this is when Melo was on the Knicks. And I was like, man, who's the best number 7 in New York? And he was like, do I got to answer that question? You already know what it is. Well, oh, okay. All right. ISO Joe, that was Josh's favorite player,
No. Chill. Respect Vince Carter. Respect Vince Carter. Respect it. But shout out Joe Johnson. I didn't know this was going here, but shout out Joe
Richard
Johnson.
Jefferson, bro.
Typical. He likes a guy with no rings. That's typical. That's fine.
No Richard Jefferson.
Yo, Richard Jefferson was cool, but Vince Carter's better.
Yeah, we beat them too. Oh man.
At least we made it in the last 20 years.
Good night, y'all. Good night. Man. And we'll holler at you after game 2. Peace and love.
Twice.